joining us on the Property Show. All that's happening in real estate across the country, best buys in property and experts on property matters. All that in the next 60 minutes. But let me begin by telling you what's on the show today. First up, with no development in the last 7 years, more than 50,000 home buyers are left in lurch in Greater Faridabad, that's National Capital Region. We find out what has gone wrong in the region. Also, smart home options in Mumbai and Pune, and also best budget homes in Bangalore and Kolkata for about 35 lakh rupees. Yes, you heard me right, 35 lakh rupees. And how can NRI save on capital gains tax on property sold in India? That comes up in our tax expert segment, along with several other questions around property finances and taxes. All right, let's move on to our top story this evening. On the back of Gurgaon and Noida's roaring success as NCR's prime real estate hubs, Greater Faridabad or Niharpar, was hailed as the next hot property destination few years back. It had a lot going for it then, affordable rates, huge demand and several infrastructure projects promising connectivity. But the Greater Faridabad of today greatly disappoints on several fronts. What's going on there and why hasn't that market taken off yet? Vasudha Sharma explores.
In 2005, a huge township called Greater Faridabad or Niharpar emerges as a land of promise in NCR's long overshadowed suburb. With affordable prices and assurances of smooth connectivity with Delhi, Greater Faridabad became the middle-income home seekers' escape from Gurgaon and Noida's soaring property rates. But cut to 2012, Greater Faridabad is yet to put up a great show. Greater Faridabad, once considered as a promising real estate destination, has now turned into a story of neglect and failed promises. Thousands of home buyers still await possession of their homes as 90% of the projects are yet to be delivered. Affordable housing dreams have now given way to allegations of cheating and fraud. Close to 50,000 buyers who've booked flats across the 75 residential projects here allege they have been unfairly denied possession of their homes by builders. External development like master roads, sewerage, electricity, water supply targeted under Master Plan 1991 has still not been executed even after over 20 years. Curiously though, developers have collected external development charges or EDC to the tune of 800 crores from buyers from 2006 to 2011.
बिल्डर्स तो देखिए अपना सारा वो हुड अथॉरिटीज पर डाल देते हैं. वो बोलते हैं कि अभी डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ है, यहाँ सीवर नहीं है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है, हम आपको पोजीशन दे भी देंगे तो आप रहेंगे कैसे? यहाँ लिविंग कंडीशन इस लायक नहीं है कि आप रहें. हुडा के पास जाओ तो उनके पास अपने रीजन है, वो बोलते हैं कि बिल्डर ने पैसा नहीं जमा किया अभी.
But RTI queries show that not even a trickle of this has reached the Haryana Urban Development Authority.
देखिए, एक दो बिल्डर्स का तो मैं बिल्कुल मेरे पास आरटीआई की इन्फॉर्मेशन हैं कि उन्होंने अभी तक 10% ही पैसा उसका दिया है और पिछले 6 साल से उसके बाद एक भी पैसा नहीं दिया.
It's a vicious cycle. If authorities don't receive EDC, they don't develop civic amenities. No EDC also means no occupancy certificate for the developers, without which possession cannot be given. The F&G expressway connecting Faridabad, Noida, Ghaziabad was also this area's biggest USP. But with that link scrapped, buyers have begun regretting their investments here.
बिल्डर ने जो भी यहाँ पे प्रोजेक्ट्स बेचे वो F&G के नाम पर और कनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन साउथ दिल्ली, गुड़गांव एंड नोएडा. जो आज की मेरी फीलिंग है, इट्स लाइक ए LSD, लाई, स्कैम एंड धोखा. बेसिकली इट्स ए बिग प्रॉमिसेस एंड जीरो डिलीवरी.
So where did the Greater Faridabad growth story falter?
See, in the last 4 or 5 years since the recession took place, developers have always had a crunch for money. It's not easy raising funds per se. So for the scarce resources that developers have, they've deployed it more into projects expansion in Gurgaon rather than utilizing them to a large extent in project completion in Faridabad.
But the lack of political will to crack down on the errant is one of Faridabad's biggest challenges at present. The office of the Faridabad administrator has seen 5 transfers in 6 months. With no real estate watchdog and a government that's turned a blind eye, will the life savings of 50,000 buyers in Niharpar continue to be sucked in by private colonizers without their homes actually being delivered? For now, Niharpar is all talk and no action. Vasudha Sharma, NDTV.
That's Greater Faridabad, also known as Neher Par. Just let me lay out a couple of facts to tell you why this part of the country is so exciting. Third fastest growing city in the country after Surat and Ghaziabad, largest district of Haryana, highest contributor of revenue to the state government, 10 to 25 kilometers from Delhi, Noida and GGN. Now, it was known as one of the greater big industrial towns, but now it's known as forgotten industrial towns. What are the developers of the area saying? That's what we've got to get down to. We've got with us Sanjay Chawla, CEO of ERA Landmarks, and Amit Raj Jain, Senior Vice President Marketing, BPTV. Sanjay, Amit, thanks very much. I know it's a difficult subject to deal with, but just the fact that both of you have come here, so there is a developer's point of view to this area as well. So I'm going to start with you, Sanjay. What happened? I mean, you look at all the facts, it was a story, real estate story waiting to unfold in a big way, just as Gurgaon.
I think it is the focus, government focus, which probably lacked the development of infrastructure in that area. Because like any other area in Haryana, and take a good example which is Gurgaon, the developers are doing, the government is providing the infrastructure, but somehow this area which still holds a good promise for future, because being the one of the best connected area, whether it is to Delhi or Gurgaon or new connectivity to Noida which is coming up, I think it has all the good things. The only thing which is lacking currently is the good road network.
Infrastructure development.
When I'm saying, yeah, see, there are certain part of development which is coming within the complex, that is obviously developers' responsibility and they take care of that. But to provide the infrastructure to the plot boundary is something which government has to do, whether it is acquisition of land for the purpose of making the roads, and only when the roads come up, then rest of the things, whether it is water supply or drainage or sewerage, all those things will only come up then. So now good thing is that things have started happening. Some sector roads have already started coming up. A large development which has been done by BPTP, they have already laid out road and its infrastructure up to a point and waiting for government to connect it to their master network. So yes, there is a delay, and government is now catching
amount
up.
Of movement. Amit, a large part of the charges that we heard from the buyers were, because there's some confusion, they're saying that developers are taking EDC from us, that's external development charges, but an RTI investigation shows that those EDC charges are not being paid to the government, which they need to get to develop the area. Is that correct?
No, I think whatever EDC charges are collected from the buyers is certainly deposited with the government, but you can't do it on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So you receive EDC from various buyers depending on the day he's bought and depending on the day he's paying, because buyers have a payment plan and we have to deposit EDC in lump sum basis. So if we collect from say about 50, 100, 500 people, we collect that money and then keep depositing with the government.
Okay, so you tell me from your point of view, Sanjay just mentioned that you have developed some roads which are going to now get connected to the master plan, but it seems to be a struggle, isn't it? And even though work has started, these buyers have a valid reason to be unhappy because projects have got delayed for 4 to 5 years.
Well, just to add what Sanjay had said, I'll just give you some figures. We have offered possession in about 600 apartments.
Okay.
And contrary to popular belief, there is about 150 families that are living in Greater Faridabad. They have access to all sorts of social infrastructure, that is schools, hospitals, shopping malls, which are in a radius of about 2 to 3 kilometers.
There are delays though, I mean, there are lots of buyers who haven't got. I mean, the number of people who haven't got their flats is overwhelmingly large. So 150 is just probably a little hope or a glimmer of hope that, okay, fine, I will get my house someday.
Yeah, but it started happening, as Sanjay had said, it started happening. The sector road work.
Will it accelerate now? What is your own sense?
Definitely. If you see, sector road was the major impediment in handing over plots and apartments. There's no apartments are no good if you don't have proper access to them. Government has started. There was some problem in acquisitions earlier. Now acquisition is there for a fairly good amount of. If you had asked me, I would have got you some data also on that. And the sector road work has started. So I'm sure in next 6 months you'll see a lot of action.
Sameer, what's your own point of view? We've got a lot of questions for Nehar Par area, and you've always sound far more cautious about that area compared to, let's say, a Noida Expressway or Gurgaon Golf Course, any of the other emerging destinations, with some valid reasons?
Absolutely. So if you look at the total supply that has been launched over there, it's 46,000 units. So I'm talking about 500 units, that's almost 1%, which is nothing. Whereas if you were to compare that to Noida or Gurgaon, the average delivery is probably 10 to 15% of the total supply on a year-on-year basis. The other thing is this has been totally investor driven. So even if they were to deliver those apartments in Greater Faridabad, there are not too many people who are going to be living there. And there are no malls there in the Nehar Par area, because there is investor driven, and first the population has to move in and then they will create the social infrastructure. Really, that is not about to happen in the short term. If you look at the appreciation trends, the appreciation has been lower than the fixed deposit returns. So people are losing interest.
The fact that you guys are holding on to construction because of social infrastructure not coming up, or basically the road infrastructure not coming up, is that correct? And also the fact that some funds are getting diverted by developers to other emerging destinations which are doing much better on price rise, like Gurgaon and Noida. On both these charges, Sanjay, what do you think?
See, holding the project is of no benefit either to the developer or to the end user. End of the day, it is the cash flow which has to rotate. The people pay and you make. As rightly said, a lot of people who have invested are investor driven. Right. And investor will invest when they see a fair return in their investment. And if the infrastructure is taking longer, people also know that it is going to take longer for them to get the return. So it's a cycle. So they don't pay up on time. The moment the payment cycle has improved, the delivery system is improving. And good thing which is happening in last few months, that people have started staying there, and not only people who have bought apartments are starting staying there. There is a demand for rental housing also.
It's starting to happen.
This is a very positive trend, and as rightly said, see, unlike a model in Noida, Greater Noida, where infrastructure is put in place first and then developers move in to do the development, here developer moves in first and then the government brings their infrastructure and fit it in.
And that's got delayed.
And that's got delayed hugely, and it is now picking up.
5 transfers in 6 months? That's what has happened? You're dealing with all of that? 5 transfers in the administration there in 6 months? Okay, no comments there.
See, you have to deal with situation, and good thing about which has happened to Faridabad and more so Greater Faridabad is the connectivity, metro connectivity coming up to a point, and it's now the so-called Nehar Par or Greater Faridabad area. And these are things which are definitely adding to the sentiment of people. People are paying up, started paying up on time, because whatever said and done, while appreciation in Faridabad cannot be compared to the appreciation, but fact of the matter is appreciation is taking place and has taken place, and that has increased or boosted the sentiment of the market. So it's all a cycle which has started moving, and I feel the kind of prices which are there now, it is still makes good sense, because connectivities are improving, metros are coming up, and social infrastructure has also started coming in.
Okay, Amit, I have a question for you. If you were to look at Dwarka Expressway, another hot, so it seems to me that this Nehar Par story is today, or was 7 years ago, what Dwarka Expressway is today. Huge amount of investors, huge number of projects being announced just for that one expressway which is going to come up. But the work on that expressway is way away. We've gone there and seen it. Tell me, if you were to have a project today, or you were to advise an investor, go to Dwarka Expressway or look at Nehar Par, because we do get those questions. Which area would you say is a better value for money or has likely chances of appreciation? Come on, bite the bullet. Bite the bullet.
You asked me to choose one of my children, right?
Yes,
I have a project at Dwarka Expressway, I have a project in Faridabad. Now, see, you have a township in the
Alright, go ahead, but tell me.
No, if you look at, investors are looking at arbitrage. Faridabad offers huge amount of arbitrage from South Delhi. It's about 8 kilometers from South Delhi.
Nehar Par as well?
Yeah, it's about 8-10 kilometers.
It's a little further down.
Yeah, maybe 10 kilometers.
Okay.
That's about it. And the arbitrage is almost, what, 20 times.
Okay.
See,
property
rates in
South
the
Delhi
NFC,
versus
South Delhi is about
Meherpar.
6-7 lakh rupees out
and
there.
Dwarka Expressway is claimed to be the same, 10 kilometers from Delhi.
Oh, that's like abutting Delhi. That's about 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers from Delhi. Again, the arbitrage is again 4 to 5 times. So I feel both these areas, see, it's always, if you invest in developed area, vis-a-vis in a developing area, its developing area will always give you better returns. And that's what people has been cashing on. I mean, when Samir said that there are
Okay,
investors.
so you're not going to choose between your two children. Samir, why don't you take a call on this? I mean, he's saying the price appreciation trends have started to show some firming up. Is that correct? Or do you think that it's still going to be a bit of a wait?
So, well, after the announcement from the government that they've started to give funds for developing sector roads, things have started to improve. Also, we must keep in mind that the Haryana government has really done very little for infrastructure, whether it has been for Gurgaon or Faridabad. If you look at Gurgaon, really, except the NH8, government has really not done much with respect to infrastructure. It's the private developer that's come in and built social infrastructure, whether it's hospitals, schools, or whether it's malls.
Right.
So, and Gurgaon took about 25 years to get well developed. Where our expectations from Faridabad, Greater Faridabad are very high. So we're expecting that it should get ready and completed in 10 years, whereas it's going to take that much more longer. Okay. And from a price perspective, it's very affordable. It's 2,400 rupees a square feet is the weighted average price. You don't get property like that in NCR region from that point of view. But real estate is all about location, right? So if you want to look at appreciation, and if you want to look at faster appreciation, I would go with Dwarka Expressway and pay a higher price, but I'll see much more appreciation going forward.
Last word in, because we've completely run out of time, Sanjay.
I'll give a perspective. I mean, you have to see whether it's a short-term perspective or a long-term perspective. In a medium to long-term perspective, I think Faridabad holds a good opportunity. Because your entry levels are so low.
Right.
And where do you get such an opportunity?
Is really a mouth-watering option
it's
around Delhi.
Less than half the price.
Okay, gentlemen, we're completely out of time. Amit and Sanjay, thanks very much. It took bold developers to come and put their point of view on that kind of a story, but I'm happy that you made it to the studio.
Thanks.